For the fifth time, Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic are the final two men remaining in Rome. Will Novak claim his sixth title in Italy, or will Nadal reach double digits for his 10th? I'll preview this match and give my prediction here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today. Novak and Rafael have played an astounding 56 times. Djokovic leads the head-to-head 29-27. However, Nadal, being the king of clay, holds an 18-7 advantage on the red dirt. He also has 4 more Rome titles than the Serb, but the world number 1 has held a slightly better win-loss record on the year. Then finally, their last meeting was that Roland Garros final from last year, which Nadal took decisively 6-love, 6-2, 7-5. Djokovic began his title defense against American Taylor Fritz, taking a tight 6-3, 7-6 win. In the third round, he claimed his easiest victory of the tournament, crushing Davidovich Fokina 2-1. The last 8 against Tsitsipas saw him recover from a set and a breakdown after the rain delay to come out on top 4-6, 7-5, 7-5 in a match lasting over 3 hours. Later on in the day, Novak had another thriller against Italian Lorenzo Sonego, overcoming the fiery 26-year-old and the home crowd to win 6-3, 6-7, 6-2. Second seed Nadal opened up against Jannik Sinner, beating the Italian 7-5, 6-4. Next, he battled back from the brink of death to outlast Denis Shapovalov 3-6, 6-4, 7-6. In the quarters, he got his revenge over Zverev, dominating the German 6-3, 6-4. Then finally in the semis, he beat the big serving American Riley Opelka 4-4. Instead of doing the typical keys to the match for both players, I'm going to go over the main factors that I think are crucial in deciding the outcome. The first is serving. Nadal serving for much of the clay court swing has been honestly pretty dismal. The match against Shapovalov illustrated this. For the first set and a half, he struggled in these fields, but once he turned it around, the results did as well. After that Dennis match, Rafa's service numbers have drastically improved, and they're definitely going to need to stay that way against Novak. I think that the serve is less of a concern for Djokovic because he's been pretty solid all week on that front, especially against Sonego, who's returned pretty well, might I add. On the flip side, returning is also something important to look at here. In the French Open final, Nadal returned brilliantly, getting himself in each and every one of Novak's service games. He won 50 total receiving points to Nole's mere 28. This disparity is also prevalent in their Rome final from 2 years ago, as Nadal dominated on the return, especially on second serve, winning 71% of those second serve return points. I feel that the return aspect will also be a bit more important for Novak, because in these clay court encounters especially, he seems to struggle a bit more in making a dent in the Nadal service games. Nadal, however, just makes a lot of returns, hardly missing to be honest, thus putting more pressure on the server and having them rely more on the ground battle, which is in Nadal's favor from the beginning. Strategy I feel will be crucial here also, especially for Novak. Court positioning is key. In the French Open final, Djokovic stood far too behind the baseline and was trying to go against the tide and force his way onto the baseline, which only threw off his timing and messed up his shots. I also thought that he hit far too much in the Nadal backhand in the French final, which was a big mistake. Usually Novak does well to pin Rafa in that outside corner, and feel that he should definitely go back to that game plan here. Aggressiveness is a very important key for this one for multiple reasons. Nadal has not been as aggressive in the early part of the clay court season, which proved to be detrimental, as you had Rublev, for example, kind of dictate in their match in Monte Carlo. The same thing with Zverev, although Nadal attributes a lot of Zverev's success and Nadal's his own failure to the altitude. Still, I don't believe he was being aggressive as he should have been. And after the Shapovalov match, it seems like he has had the confidence, regained that confidence to truly go for his shots and hit with more conviction. He was aggressive with his backhand in the French Open final, which kind of caught Novak off guard. I think that he should also do the same thing against Novak in this Rome final, really go for that backhand instead of solely relying on the forehand to do most of his damage. Now, Djokovic in that Sonego match was a bit more tentative at game and break points, and the Italian took full advantage, which is why the match even went to a third set. I think Novak should keep his foot on his opponent's neck on those important points rather than be tentative and simply hope that they miss. Granted, Sonego and Nadal are two completely different players, but the Serb could still stand to take more chances. I think aggressiveness will be key for both players in this match due to the hypothetical difference in energy. Novak, carrying more mileage, should look to shorten points in a sense and take the offensive approach. Meanwhile, Nadal should impose himself early on and let Nole know that this will be a physical exchange and will take an astounding effort to defeat him. This directly plays into the final factor, which is energy. I believe that this factor will actually be the most important in the long run. Overall, I feel that Novak has been playing better tennis than the Spaniard this week and has had to overcome tougher opposition. However, he has the obvious disadvantage of having to spend more time on court and having far less time to recover. Djokovic is one of the fittest athletes, so if anyone knows how to recover from a grueling 2-1, it's him. This and the fact that he's playing well makes me believe that he'll at least manage to take a set from Nadal here in this match. However, I think that it'll be too much of an ask to defeat a more well-rested Nadal on his favorite surface where things are bound to be more physical. Novak played nearly 5 hours on court yesterday, a factor too large to overlook. Considering this and the fact that Nadal's game is improving match by match, I will be picking the Spaniard to win in 3, entering double-digit territory in yet another clay court event. In their post-match press conferences, the top 2 seeds, as usual, gave their thoughts about this matchup.
Well, I always say the same. No, what happens here, not gonna make a big impact about what can happen in a couple of weeks. No, I mean, if you ask for that, you play a final here. You want to win. Is one of the most important events on our sport. So that's it. You want to win the tournament, no, but you don't want to win because in 2 weeks you're gonna have an important event. No. For me, I am take one at a time. Rome is such an important tournament for me, so being the final again is so important for me. In terms of preparation for Roland Garros, I consider the job done. So tomorrow is not at all preparation for nothing. No, it's a final, an important one, and I want to be competitive. I want to play a good match, and let's see. No?
You know, it's great to play him again in the final. He's the guy that I have encountered the most in my career. Definitely my biggest rival of all time. And playing him on clay in the finals, one of the biggest tournaments in the world, is always extra motivating for me. So even after all we have been through in our careers, there is still this excitement when we have to face each other. I mean, at least from my side, I know that that's, you know, going to be the case as long as we play against each other on this level. And I'm really glad that we're showing that we're not backing off from the next gen attacks.
That's all for this preview, and let me know if you agree that Nadal will outlast Novak for the title, or if you think the Serb can manage another Herculean effort and take the crown. Also, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I make the post-match analysis for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.